Welcome back to Hardball. She's not yet an official candidate for president, but Hillary Clinton has already found her perfect foil: the Republican-led Congress and its historically low approval ratings. In a series of tweets, Hillary laced into Republicans on divisive issues such as Iran, abortion, race, and health care. Last week, she took aim at her potential Republican rivals sitting in the U.S. Senate. She tweeted, "GOP letter to Iranian clerics undermines American leadership. No one considering running for commander-in-chief should be signing on." On Monday, she tweeted, "Congressional trifecta against women today. Blocking great nominee, first African-American woman AG, for longer than any AG in 30 years, playing politics with trafficking victims and threatening women's health and rights." And again on Tuesday, repeal of the ACA would let insurers write their own rules again and wipe out coverage for 16 million Americans. The Washington Post writes, Clinton's broad brush assault is intended to tie all Republicans to what Democrats think are the unpopular policies and unappealing overreach of congressional leaders. Clinton's chosen topics and targets also provide a window on her preparation for a campaign likely to focus on which candidate can best connect with the middle class and economically disenfranchised. Joining the roundtable tonight, Kasie Hunt is a political correspondent for MSNBC. Paul Singer is Washington correspondent with USA Today. And Lauren Victoria Burke is managing editor of Politic 365. So, folks, is the GOP Congress and their early stumbles just the perfect foil for Hillary Clinton? Lauren, I'll start with you.
Well, obviously it is. I mean, this is a Congress that doesn't do much. They don't pass much. Now the Republicans obviously are in charge, and they're not showing that they can govern. So this is a very easy Congress to run against. At some point, it's got to get, I think, a little bit boring to middle-class Americans that you're paying people $174,000 a year to sort of not put out anything. So for Hillary to run against that and challenge that is pretty easy, particularly with populist-related issues.
Kasie, is that going to last long?
Well, Jonathan, it's going to have to last her for a good long while. She doesn't have anyone to turn her fire against otherwise because she doesn't have a primary. And I think that's really her struggle going in here. We've talked a lot with the emails about the fact that she might actually benefit from a primary challenger. And the reality is she's only going to have this Republican Congress to run against. You've seen President Obama do that in this midterm cycle and also some in 2012. I think her challenge is going to be that she can't do what a president can. She doesn't have that pen and phone, as he says, that she can then use to take action that can then be a major part of the news cycle. All she can do is attack, and I think that's a tougher spot to be in than what the president has faced for the last 4 years.
Right. Well, Paul, you know, all she can do is attack, but if she's attacking on issues. She's attacking on women's issues, health care, fairness, race, you name it. I mean, and she's doing it all. She's doing it all through Twitter. So are we seeing through those tweets and her comments the foundation, the bare bones of what a campaign, at least substantively, will look like?
Absolutely. In fact, we have a story on our website today about the fact that Hillary Clinton is already laying the groundwork for the first woman president theme that's going to carry through. She is going to try and make the pitch to women that you have to vote for the first woman president. The Republican Congress, of course, is giving her some of those issues to play with. When they block bills because they have an abortion rider on there, it's playing right into her strategy. She can talk women's issues and bad Republican Congress all at the same time. That's good for her. And I think you'll see a lot of these issues where the Republican Congress is dealing on social issues plays into her strength, which is, I'm the only woman running for this office.
Right. You know, the Washington Post also writes, like his 1990s predecessor, Newt Gingrich, House Speaker John Boehner faces near constant calls from his right flank to put the Clintons at the forefront of House oversight efforts. But one of his own Republicans in the House says, not so fast. Congressman Peter King, a Republican from New York, told the Washington Post this: "We shouldn't be salivating or piling on even as we ask legitimate questions. In grudging admiration, you have to know that no one is better at making themselves victims than President and Secretary Clinton. I know them. I consider them friends. But having said that, they are also masters of political jujitsu." I mean, with friends like that, it's incredible. Kasie, what do you make of that?
Well, I'm not sure that Peter King necessarily represents all of the Republican Congress in what he said there. I will say that, you know, the toxicity of the Clintons and Republican Congresses goes back so long and is so fraught. We talked so much about the narrative and, you know, that sort of followed the Clintons through their entire public life. I mean, this is familiar territory to them, standing up against a Republican Congress. You had James Carville saying, hey, maybe she hid these emails because she didn't want Louis Gohmert flipping through them. So, you know, I think that we can anticipate more of this.
And Lauren, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I just would say that Peter King, at some point, the Republicans have to link their investigations to what people actually care about. And I think Peter King has sort of figured out that that's really not happening in some of these things. I mean, do people really care about Benghazi? Are they going to make their vote on Election Day over Benghazi? I think that's fairly unlikely. There are a lot of, you know, this is the 45, this is sort of the Tea Party wing, obviously, in the House, but there are a lot of Peter King-type Republicans who do want to get something done and have a record to stand on in 2016.
Paul, and I think that's what Mitch McConnell said the day after the election, we're not going to use this Congress to shut down the government and grind things to a halt. We have to achieve something we can run on. These may not be those things.
The Roundtable is staying with us. And up next, the nasty side of social media. This is Hardball, the place for politics.